Hi guys, my name's Alicia, and this is my boyfriend Seth. We're here to let you know how we were able to conceive against the odds. I'm 40, and Seth has had issues with infertility, and we want to describe our process to hopefully help you guys out there. So, honey.
So my infertility issue was obviously, which most males have that do have the problem, it was sperm count or motility, and I had an issue of my sperm count was below 2 million, and this was about 10 years ago when I was told by multiple doctors that I wouldn't be able to have kids with my ex-wife. So after 2 years of trying, we ended up failing and didn't have kids, and then we separated since then. 10 years later, I met Alicia, and I told her I wanted to have kids but never got a chance to, and she told me if I wanted kids we could make it happen. And 1 month into trying, and boom, we are having a baby, either a girl or a boy, not sure yet. So back to the issue, the sperm count thing. So there's some tricks that me and Alicia did. Now 10 years ago, I never tried these tricks. I didn't know there was all these tricks 10 years ago, but there's different things you can do to try to conceive. And me and Alicia went and we Googled and we found out all the different things to do, and we figured out these different types of things. I'm gonna let Alicia take over with about some of the women hygiene things. Alicia?
Okay, well, I want to start with the fact that I'm a strong believer in The Secret. If you haven't heard of The Secret, it's something that you want to look up on YouTube because it's going to be, or on Netflix, it's going to be instrumental in the way that you think about conceiving. So I'll start with that. And then also, we did look into several methods. He did a fertility test called Yo, if you want to talk about that.
Mm-hmm. So this is Yo right here. I told Alicia about this. I heard about it and we never got it. And I told her that maybe we should get this to see where my numbers are at and how my guys were, because 10 years ago they were at 2 million sperm count and 20 million is what's normal. So I wanted to know if we had a chance of even having kids. So we went ahead and got this, and then it said that my motile sperm was at like 6 million and that I was in the 30% range out of 100%, which is, it's not great, but it's not the worst. Then my second test I took said that I had 6 million motile sperm, and then it said I was in the 10% range, which is bad because you can be from anywhere from 0 to 100, and I was in the 10% range, yet we were still able to conceive. Also, Alicia, do you want to talk about the cup?
Yes, so I had heard about using the Diva Cup to try to get pregnant, to try to conceive. What we did was we looked on YouTube. We saw that a lot of people were using pre-seed, which would come in a tube like this, and it's going to be a lubricant that you want to use for conception. It's going to help the sperm along to the egg. There are syringes that you insert it with. Pre-seed is going to be put inside of you 30 minutes prior to having any sperm enter into you, because you want it to be your body temperature. So you can also use it during the act as well. So after the sperm is in you, you want to insert, this is what the Diva Cup is. I had him insert it in me. It should have gone into the vagina this way with the opening in to hold the sperm into place so that it's going to go straight to your egg. Instead, he inserted it the wrong way. So I have to tell you that maybe he inserted it the wrong way, and that's what caused our conception, because it did suck into me and seemed to push everything in there way deeper than it maybe would have you put it in the right way. So that is probably something you might want to try, and that could have aided us in our getting pregnant.
Also, one other thing I want to add with that, the Diva Cup is that we wouldn't recommend doing it the backwards way that we did it, and it did get her to get pregnant, but we're not going to recommend it just because of the fact that that's not how you're supposed to do it. And when we did do that, it took Alicia a while to get it out. If you do try it backwards like we did, and and you do have trouble getting it out, if you can't get it out within an hour, please consult your medical physician or go to an ER. But I'm sure you and your husband or whoever should be able to fish it out.
There's not going to be any problems.
She got it out.
I got it out. It's good.
Without me. So yeah.
So you also, honey.
Yeah.
Sorry. You also want to implement. Did we talk about the ovulation indicators?
We can do that right now.
Okay. So the ovulation tests, you want to do that too. That's also something that we did in the planning.
It's the most important.
The most important thing. Make sure that your ovulation dates are right on. I used an app. I also used the ovulation indicators. He had a different app too. So we were trying to make sure that we did it at exactly the right time
and also
to be successful.
Also, I didn't wait. Usually they say to wait 3 or 4 days so that your sperm can build up. I didn't wait. We were doing like it every other day probably, and I didn't wait, and we just did it, and then we just kept in our routine of like every other day or every day probably.
Yeah, it was every day.
Every day. And then so yeah, we did it every day for 3 days. Just once or twice a day. We didn't do it all the time. It was just about once or twice a day. And then the most important thing, or not the most important, but the most expensive thing on the list, everything there we've talked about is like $20. The Yo thing is about $100, and then the
Diva Cup was about $40.
The Diva Cup's $40, and then the most expensive purchase that we bought was before we had started. We bought a new bed, and it was. You want to talk about your bed?
Oh yeah, the bed. The bed is probably for a bigger girl the best thing that could have happened to me, because you need to have you have the sperm inserted. Either way, you can do it syringe. We did it the natural way. If you're going to do the in-home insemination kit, that's probably going to be fine. You can do those steps. And then what we did was we have this bed that we purchased from Wayfair that's an adjustable memory foam bed. So if you want to raise it, honey. So I got up on the bed because I'm bigger. It was a lot more comfortable for me to do that, because they say to elevate your hips so that your hips are straight. I guess with a wall, if you could get up against a wall, but that wasn't for me. So we have this bed that's elevating, and Seth said that he will demonstrate for us the position that I was in after sex for about 30 minutes.